What a sneaky little girl she is. Oh my goodness, Herbie. Oh no, I don't know what I'm going to have to buy you, but you definitely deserve a gift. Look up in the tops of that tree over there. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it, Senzo? So as you look, I'm just going to get hold of Mike again. Mike, I'm standing by. Thank you, Herbie.
I was watching us all along.
No, not at all. I was just trying to get into the sighting. She's in a tree. It's Xongile. We're just south of Treehouse Dam on the southern road. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Whew. My luck is changing, everybody, with the help of my dear friend Herbie. Of course, I could not have done it without him. Oh, can I just show you how excited Herbie is as well? Please, can we have a look at Herbie's face? I know Xongile doesn't look like she's going to go anywhere, but look at that big pearly white smile, arms in the air, and that is why he's one of the most incredible people I have ever met in my entire life. Talk about perseverance, talk about patience. This man has got it all. Penny is a very lucky woman. She is very lucky. I'm sure that most women will be envious of Herbie. But how great is that? I'm speechless. Honestly, I'm speechless because it has been very tough to try and stay positive and trying to find these cats. Oh, Senzel's saying I mustn't cry. It's allergies, I promise it's allergies. But how glorious and gracious is that? And she's looking lovely. So remember, we had her tracks yesterday morning, moving around quite a bit, and then I thought that I'd seen her tracks actually crossing into Little Gowrie this morning, and I think they were, because they were over the top of Herbie's the car that he is in, over his tire tracks. So I think she's just been going back and forth, probably also looking for something to eat. You doing big yawns, girl? Have you had a long night? And I'm glad she's taking after her mom and laying in the marula trees. Now, Christelle, you said that she has got great eyes. She does indeed. She's beautiful, isn't she? She's a gorgeous girl. But I was listening to Ali, or Ali and I were chatting about it last night, and I saw a couple of you were also talking about how she's getting that typical offspring look that Shadow has, that Thandi has, or from the pictures that I've seen. I haven't seen Thandi yet. But it almost looks like it's a grumpy look. But it's not grumpy. She's not doing it intentionally. She can't help the way that she looks. It's almost like I can't help the way that I sound or how thick my hair is. These are all just one of the things. And I suppose it's the traits that Karula passes on. And Tess, you're wondering if the tail can show moods like domestic cats? Most certainly. When they're hanging in a tree like this, I suppose it's just an ornament. It's not really doing too much, as if she's very relaxed. However, the tail, of course, also helps with balance. Oh, she's stretching out. Look at her. Just scratching. And that's very important to, of course, do that. It strengthens all the tendons in the paws, as well as getting rid of all the old nail sheath. I wonder what she's going to do next. So sorry, yes, so they'll twitch it. My best is when you see a leopard once it has spotted some prey in the distance. That's the greatest test, because you see that tail just twitching slightly as if it's their brain working, sort of plotting out their next move. So most certainly, and it's the same thing with lions as well, with all the cats. You look at, of course, a combination of the position of their ears and their tails, and that can normally tell you their moods. Let's reposition slightly. I'm just thinking, oh, hang on, I'm just wondering, because she's facing the other way, but if she decides to climb down, I suppose we have got quite a nice view. But I think if we go forward a little bit, Senzo, let's try this. Let's try a different angle out. Come on, car. Come on, Rusty. Can't be braking in a second car. I will not be too popular. I will not be the most popular person in camp, that's for sure. Actually, this is going to be an even better spot, because now we really have a perfect view of her if she comes down this tree. Hello, my precious girl. It has been such a long time, young Xongile, since I've seen your beautiful face. It's beautiful, hey? This is such a perfect tree. Now, I think it's very impressive that she's climbed all the way up there, because that's a very, very steep base, or steep trunk, as Senzo has just said. I don't think it's necessarily the easiest tree. There's no little branches that she could have used to sort of stop, have a break. She would have had to have done that all in one go, and I hope that she does decide to show herself. Jamie, we're coming to you next, but I have to tell you we found one of your favorite little leopards, and I'm sure Jamie would absolutely love to see this, so make sure you tag her in lots of screenshots. But let's go back across to her in the She is indeed, Jamie, she is indeed, but how gorgeous that you have, of course, those baboons. I think what Xongile has done is she's spotted some impala that were just near Treehouse Dam. So when I came around racing and obviously quite excited because Herbie had called me straight in over here, I spotted this group of impala. They were just in the thicket, but they looked like they were coming out towards the dam. So I think that's what she's seen. And remember yesterday I was climbing trees and standing on termite mounds in the sunrise safari. And that's exactly what leopard's done. Or not done, do. What's wrong with me? I'm so excited now. So it's a good spot. I also think she feels relatively safe up in a tree like this. She's not a particularly big girl. She's doubled in size since I last saw her. But she's still quite small. I think she's still got a little bit of growing to do. Remember, she's very young still. And when you are so young and you are on your own, you don't have mom watching over you anymore, and you are able to climb trees as well as leopards are, I think sleeping up in a tree probably feels pretty good rather than sitting on the ground where you're quite exposed to hyenas, to lions, to potential other leopards passing by or any other predator that's bigger than what she is. So up in a tree is a good spot for her. And as I mentioned earlier, she's taken after her mom. She's got the same love for marula trees, and I think that's a really great characteristic that Karula has passed on. And we miss her. We miss Karula, but at least we're still seeing Xongile. I hope that Hosana is going to make an appearance soon. That would really just be the cherry on top of the cake, wouldn't it? Imagine, hopefully by this weekend, we get dear Hosana popping through. And I haven't heard anything about him for quite some time, so I don't know where he is moving around. He could be anywhere. He could be lurking about on Chitwa. He could just be living in Little Gowrie, and I believe the vegetation is very thick in there. So it could be even more difficult to find leopards. But we've got 4 leopards on the property that we know about. Herbie saw Shadow and her little cub. We saw the Dacre kill that they have just off Philemon's cut line. We've got Xongile now, and then we've also had Tingana with Ali, of course, since last night. That's a beautiful shot. And then, of course, this morning again. But who knows? This afternoon, all these leopards could have disappeared. You know what these sneaky spotted cats are like. They really are the most elusive creatures in the bush. But how great is that? From having no leopards to having all of this action in just a few hours. I'm sure you're all smiling from ear to ear like me. Now, Dylan, you've said that she looks thirsty. Oh, I don't know. Maybe. I think it's quite difficult to tell if a leopard looks thirsty or not. She's just sort of waking up. I don't know if she's quite decided what she's going to do. So, again, because she's so my goodness, my words today. Because she's so young, she might not be moving around so much at night time. She could still be just moving around during the day, like we say, to avoid the larger predators that are more active during the cooler times, which would be a very clever tactic. She doesn't look like she's quite grown into her paws just yet. She's actually got lovely big paws, don't you, girl? And it's obviously a tough one. The water's right not far away, so don't worry, Dylan. If you feel and you're a little bit concerned that she may be dehydrating, there's a huge dam. Treehouse Dam is probably about 200 meters away, maybe not even that far. So she'll go over there whenever she's thirsty and have a sip of water. See, at this time of the year, it's not difficult for the animals to find water. It's all over. It is going to start drying out soon. And then she can maybe be a little bit concerned, but she'll know where the water is. Now, she's yawning. She's looking like she's waking up. But as you know, sometimes leopards are in no hurry to go anywhere. They take their time, do 150 yawns, stretch, then lay down for a little bit, then get up again. And we'll just be patient. I'm not going anywhere. I'm totally going to sit with this girl for as long as we can. And then hopefully on the way home, we'll be able to pop past that last area where Shadow was seen, and who knows, maybe we get a triple threat. Oh, here we go. Looks like she's going to climb down now. Are you going to climb down, you lovely lady? There she goes. Now, Nikki, you're wondering if I thought, woo, careful, darling dear. That was not the most graceful dismount I've ever seen of a leopard before, but okay. She got down either way. Sorry, Nikki. You're wondering if she's going to be a smaller shadow. I don't think she's going to be a particularly big leopard. We'll have to just sort of wait. She might have a growth spurt, and I think her size is also going to depend on how much food she eats. So the more she keeps catching, the larger she's potentially going to grow. She's in those stages now where she should be growing as quickly as she can. So we'll just have to wait and see. Her paws are, they're decent size, but they're not big. You can still tell her tracks apart from the other female leopards. But there we go. Now, earlier we were talking about emotion. And can you tell it from their tails? Look at that. It's twitching. I think she's just smelling down on the ground at the moment. But she's definitely thinking. There we go. Good girl. Go towards Treehouse Dam. I think that's a good spot. She's still got a bit of a way to go, though, and I don't think she's going to race off anywhere in a hurry. But she's hungry. She's not thin. She's in fantastic condition. She's lean, and we don't normally see very overweight cats, or sometimes they will gorge themselves, of course, and it looks like they've eaten a beach ball. But that disappears quite quickly. That belly, in just a few hours, and maybe a little bit longer than that, will then go back down to normal size again. Well, this is wonderful. Xongile is looking for her breakfast. I think that's what she's plotting to do. Tingana is just finishing his breakfast. Let's go watch him. She's just smelling around at the moment. Now she's taking a couple of steps. I don't know where she's going to go. She might also decide to just lay down in the shade somewhere. Perhaps her spot up in the tree was not shady enough. What you doing, girl? I'd love to know exactly what she's thinking. She's got her ears pricked, of course. She's looking around, so maybe those impala have moved slightly closer. But she's still got a bit of a way to go. Right, let's follow her. Let's go and anticipate her movements. Let's see if we can get in front of her. I don't think I'm going to drive right behind her. We'll sort of go... What has she done? No, she's just laying down now in the grass. Okay, let's go back this side then. Just trying to figure out what I'm going to do. That's what she's done. She just moved to the shade, but she's facing that way. So I don't want to just face her rear end. As beautiful as what it is, I'd prefer to have her beautiful eyes looking at us. So let's go the scenic way around and get in sort of in front of her then. Elephants have been very busy here, knocking over. I'll get to all those questions in a moment. I just need to concentrate and just focus on off-roading. I'm trying to figure out where there she is, around the corner. There's just a lot of fallen trees here. Like I said, the elephants have been busy. I don't want to break this car as well, otherwise we're going to get ourselves into a lot of trouble. Now, there's also an entire network of warthog burrows here. Now, I don't want to fall into that, so let me go this way around. Xongile is very relaxed with the cars as well. Hello, girl. Hello, beautiful princess. Look at you. You are so gorgeous. Look at that face. That is adorable. That is the prettiest. She's such a beautiful girl. Sorry, Alice, may I have that question again? She is so regal. She's sitting in the shade, of course, out of the sun. Look at her. She's stunning. Isn't she beautiful? No, so she obviously wasn't taking too much interest in whatever she saw in the distance. But there's that typical look that all Karula's offspring seem to have. I don't mind it so much. I think it's quite cute, actually, to look like you're sort of a little bit upset all the time. But it's very sweet. You know, like I said, she's not. She can't help her facial expressions, the way her eyes are positioned, the way her nose is in conjunction to the rest of her body. But it's nice. I think it's very special. And it's something, like I said, Karula's passed on. And this trait will hopefully be passed on for generation to generation. And that will be a way that will be able to identify all the offspring that have come from Karula. Now, William, you're wondering if leopards can accidentally fall out of trees. Well, as you saw just a moment ago, Xongile almost fell out, not accidentally, but because she couldn't find her footing. But I'm sure it happens. I think as an adult, it's less likely, but definitely a youngster. I've watched Hosana and Xongile, but more Hosana, fall out of trees. And it just takes a bit of practice. And obviously they need to develop muscles and learn how to balance. So yes, it's most certainly possible. It's just the same as how birds can fall out of trees. They can get blown out. They can, also maybe land and a branch breaks. I've seen that with vultures before, where they land and they look like they're going to go toppling down. But luckily they flap their wings a couple of times and get enough lift. But Xongile, you are an elegant girl, and we've seen you balancing on all sorts of things before. So I don't think that she'll have a problem. But she's happy here. This is a nice spot. She might just rest up for the day. Those eyes look like they're getting heavier and heavier. And as I say that, yes, she puts her head down in her paws. So perhaps she is just going to have a siesta. A day filled with leopards is not a bad day in my books. Actually, a day filled with any animals is not a bad day. What a lovely girl. So peaceful as well, not a bird chirping. I am going to have to jump on the Game Drive radio in a moment. I promise I'm not ignoring you. This is probably the most I've ever spoken on a Game Drive radio in my entire life. I'm normally always getting into trouble for not being on the radio. Mike is going to come into the sighting, and I suspect I'm going to have to guide him a little bit, because I don't know if he'll get a view from where we are positioned now with all the silver cluster leaves and bush willows. They're all around here. There's some big ones too, so we will need to just guide him in. But I'm listening out for his vehicle. We might actually see Xongile give us the first sign that there's a vehicle approaching. So let's see if that happens. If she turns her head sort of back towards where we are, and we know she's listening to something else. There we go. You see that? You see how her ears are pricking? She's listening. I can't hear anything just yet. I'll tell you when I can hear the car. There we go. I can hear a vehicle now. Right, let's try and haul this in. Standing by, Tom. Well, we have called it in. Can we keep this to a 2-vehicle sighting, please? It's quite thick here. You can stand by, and then Mike is making his approach. I'll call you in when I pull out. We are just sort of southwest of Treehouse Dam on the southern road. Copy, thanks. I'm going to be spending a bit of time here. I've been searching for leopards all morning. There we go. Copy. Mike, if you come across the dam wall as if you're going south, turn right onto the southern road as if you were going back towards Shibamo, and then you should see where my vehicle tracks go off. Just sort of look a little bit southwest. When I get your audio, though, I'll guide you in. I'm not far off of the road. Oh, hang on, stand by. Where?
In the tree.
Behind us. Oh, there's another leopard here. Oh my goodness. Hang on. Guys, we've got another leopard. Who is this in the tree? Is it Hosana? No ways. No ways. It is too. It's Hosana. No, this is Thamba. Can we have a look? This is interesting. Can we just look at his right eye very quickly? He's got a... Yes, this is Thamba. Guys, I need some help here. Please hashtag Safari Live and confirm if this is Thamba. It looks like those ears are too big to belong to... oh my goodness, I don't know what's going on. To belong to, of course, Hosana, but I could be mistaken, of course. Alice, will you just keep an eye out and see if anybody does send in, if that is Thamba or Hosana? Well spotted. I'm just listening to Mike. Okay, copy, Mike. I've just realized I've got another leopard up a tree here as well with Xongile. I think it might be Thamba. It doesn't look like Hosana, but we're just waiting for confirmation. It's quite thick here. That's why I think I'm going to keep it still to a 2-vehicle lock. There's just a lot of bush willows surrounding these 2 cats now. What's your position, Mike? Mike has also got a leopard. So Shadow is in the area too. Oh my goodness. Okay, copy. Thanks, Mike. That's very interesting. Tommy, welcome to go and join Mike then. We've got then 3 leopards in the vicinity of a couple of 100 meters. We can just keep rotating if you guys are happy to do that. I'll keep you guys updated. The viewers will let me know now and confirm if this is Thamba that I have in the tree, but I've definitely got Xongile. Right, so this is very interesting, isn't it? Let me try and get you another view here. I'm going to turn the radio, Game Ride radio now down so I can focus. So Mike has got another leopard. Mike has got another leopard, which we will also try and go to. I think I'm in a hole though, yes. Which is quite exciting. He says it looks like a young male leopard. So maybe it's Hosanna. Let me go here. I was going to try and get a view of that other leopard, but let's just look at Xongile because she sat up again. This is unbelievable. Oh, hang on. There he is. He's looking back at us now. I don't know if Xongile knows that this leopard is here. The male that's sitting in the tree is looking down at Xongile. Let's see what happens. This is so interesting. This is now probably going to explain why I've been seeing so many young male leopard tracks around on the ground. Because remember, I had adult female leopard tracks as well as young male leopard tracks around quarantine, and I couldn't work out whose they are. Then we found Tingana that evening. I don't think they were Tingana's tracks. Xongile, do you know? Yes, she knows that there's a leopard up the tree. She's looking. And Thamba's not reacting at all. This is amazing. And it's probably because they're so young and that they don't mind each other and they're probably finding comfort within one another. Have you ever? I've never been in a situation before where we've had potentially 3 different leopards in the same area. Let's see what her response is. Do you want me to? Let me go back for you a little bit, Senzel. Sorry, I see the aerials in the way there. So I'm just going to swing the car just round like this. Hello, girl. Okay, that's fine. There we go. That's a little bit better. This is so interesting. How great is that? So yes, I think this is definitely Thamba up in the tree. That black smudge under his left eye is very noticeable. And then, of course, those big ears. But this is great. Thamba in a tree, Xongile down below, and we're uncertain as to what male leopard Mike has got, and we're going to have to go in and have a look. Mike says he thinks it might be Hosanna, but he hasn't seen him in a while. I can't believe this. How is our luck turning like that? Going from not having anything, leopards just disappearing in front of my eyes. And now look at this. 3 leopards within just a couple of 100 meters of each other, plus Shadow and her daughter, not too far away from here. Stanley, you're wondering if there's a little bit of romance in the air, and wondering if Xongile and Thamba aren't perhaps going out. Maybe I've ruined a date. Maybe they were on a getaway. I don't think so, though. I think they're a little bit too young. As great as a story that would make, unfortunately, that's probably not the case. Oh, listen to her. She's sort of making a chuffing noise. Mike can see another leopard from where he is now. I'm confused now. I think maybe he's talking about my sighting. This is so funny. Mike, I think it might be you that I'm looking at. If it's in a silver cluster leaf, if you can make out a silver cluster leaf, and if the leopard is facing in an easterly direction, then yeah, it's me. I've got both Thamba up the tree and then Xongile is just at the base, but they're looking towards Treehouse Dam now, so maybe they're going to come your side. Which vehicle's just driven past on the southern road? Okay, I've got your audio. I think, Tom, it's you. If you want, you can come and join me. Yes, sorry, there's obviously, we're trying to organize these sightings now. Oh, so this leopard's not far away. Okay, copy. Well, from where you are, I'm about 80 meters. If you look to your left, far far left to the south, you should be able to see my vehicle too. So this is very interesting. So Mike is not far away. I've just actually picked up where he is, and I'm trying to figure out where this other leopard is. So that's quite exciting. There's so many leopards here this morning. So sorry, as I was saying before, I got distracted just trying to figure out where everybody is positioned. And you know that we've driven up and down these roads so many times today, and there were no leopards around here. So they've just come out of their holes from, I don't know, all sorts of directions, and it's all quite confusing and a bit overwhelming, but exciting nonetheless. So obviously Thandi has gone off and she's looking for something to eat. I don't know what Thandi's reaction would be to Xongile. I don't know if it would necessarily be a polite reaction, but very, very interesting nonetheless. But Thamba seems to be quite content with his new friend. And she keeps, listen, you see that? She's sort of doing the chuffing noises at him. It's not an aggressive sound, this. It's very soft and subtle. I don't know if you can actually hear it because I'm just picking it up, just every now and then. But she's looking up at him as if to say hello. And now this other leopard is not far from where we are. Well, I can't wait. I'm going to have to give Jamie a call and tell her all these exciting all this exciting news, and it seems as though she's also found something up a tree. Look at that gorgeous face, those beautiful blue-green eyes, and of course those big ears to go with that face. This has been an unbelievable morning and a huge turn of events. Leopards everywhere. Now, I'm not going to go, I think it's going to be a bit tight if we try and get to the other leopard to try and figure out who it is, but I will go back a little bit later and go and investigate and try and get some pictures, and then I'll of course let you know who exactly that was up in the tree. But I just think it's amazing, and that these two leopards are sitting here quite happily together. Xongile making very sweet little chuffing noises, but Thamba doesn't seem to be too perturbed by her presence, and vice versa. I mean, Xongile is not racing up the tree to join him. I think Thamba's probably going, wait till my mother gets here and sees all of you around here. It'll be really quite interesting to see what Thandi's reaction is going to be, because I've never seen anything like this before. Two leopards from different litters meeting up. Not uncommon. I'm not surprised by this at all. Like I said, they're young. They don't know any different. So it's not like adult leopards that have already established themselves in territories and will be very, very protective, of course. Be protective over those territories. These guys just follow, well, Thamba's still following Mom around or staying put wherever she tells him to stay, and then they go about their day. And Xongile and Hosana are roaming around, still very lost, not sure where to go, what to do. Just trying to find a meal, stay safe and not get chased by any other animals. But she's a cute little girl though, that's all I can say about Xongile. She's really turning into a lovely little leopard. See that? She keeps looking up at him as if to say, come down and play please. You want to come down? No? You want to sit in the tree? But both tree-loving cats, and I think that Thamba's obviously a better tree climber than Hosana. Ruth, you said a conquest of leopards, did it? I think so. You know what, and this is why I love the bush again so much. You just never know what you're quite going to see. Look how she's walking straight here. Right next to the car. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to duck. She's just gone behind the vehicle now. What? There she is. We'll make sure we see where she's going. She's not looking at Thamba to follow her. Xongile, go left, because you could potentially be reunited with your brother. Maybe he spots her. What an exciting morning it has been. I really don't know quite what to say, but leopard madness, spots everywhere, exciting things from the Mara. It has truly been an absolutely wonderful morning. Now we're going to try and figure out what's going on. I'm going to stay and follow Xongile for a bit longer to see where she ends up, so we have an idea where to go for the sunset safari. But I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing all the pictures. Remember to join us this afternoon for another leopard fiasco.